This is the warm, buttery sound of my voice, me, Brady. And normally this is what my half of the show would sound like. However, every so often, something happens and one of our equipments fail. That is what happened this week. So my audio is going to sound like it's coming through a phone, because it is. But we still have a really good conversation, and it's a lot of fun. So hopefully the quality doesn't bother you too much, and you're still able to enjoy. You know, there's something I think magical about starting a show with a hot take.
Okay, yeah.
So with your permission,
Okay, yeah.
I would like to do that.
Please.
This is the first time I've ever seen A Bug's Life.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, this is a brand new viewing for me. I went into it, I was aware of it, like,
Of course.
Kevin Spacey, Dave Foley, second Pixar film,
Yeah.
A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
But I'd never seen it. Didn't own it
Wow.
as a kid. And that's, much like we've talked with several films in the past, I didn't own it.
Okay. And,
I just didn't own it as a kid. And when
Yeah.
you're a kid,
that's a big deal.
We've talked about this.
Yeah.
And with Pixar films or kids' films,
Mm-hmm.
there's this thing that happens. When you're a kid, if you don't have the film, especially in the 90s,
Yep.
in the 90s, we were kids. If we didn't own the film, we didn't have the means to watch the film.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Unless it was at like a friend's house or,
Yes.
your cousin had it and you were close with your cousin. You're always, your aunt babysitted you, whatever.
Sure.
Babysat would be more grammatically correct. But, typically if it wasn't on the shelf, you weren't watching it.
Right. Yep.
And then once you reach the age where you do have the means of seeking out your own movies, you're probably at an age where unless you have nostalgia with that film, you're too cool for school and you're not going to watch it. You're a teenager at this point. You're not going to waste your time sitting and watching a children's movie that you don't have any nostalgia with.
I mean, probably not.
Probably not. 9 times out of 10. So
Yeah.
It's not until I find, anyways, until you have a podcast where, or you're an adult.
Yeah.
And, you say to yourself, I always have wondered about, and then you're able to seek it out. Or you have a significant other who's like, oh, man, this is like, this is fundamental to my childhood. How have you not seen this? And you're like, I don't know. I have a life.
Yeah.
And, but, so anyways, long story short, very, very long story short, this is my first time seeing A Bug's Life.
Interesting.
So thank you, Movie Men Podcast.
Well, yes. Welcome to the show. We are the Movie Men Podcast. We are reviewing A Bug's Life, obviously. Interesting hot take. That is something. I'm actually surprised.
That is the totality of my notes. I have nothing. I have nothing else of substance.
Okay. All right.
To say today.
Fair enough.
So hopefully you've walked away with just a trinket, just a trinket of happiness and I can't bullshit my way through this. Hello and welcome to the Movie Men Podcast.
Well, this is an episode that was voted on, and we can
episode 158.
Yes.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The other day, I know it's a little early, but you and I, we don't really talk just because of the restraining order and we abide by it. But on occasion,
isn't it so weird that they still allowed us to do a podcast?
it's peculiar, but
that it just speaks to the power of mediation. I think.
But even with that in mind, we do still talk and communicate from time to time. And one thing that crossed my head actually, I think it was just today. I was like, when you're doing something around the house and it's like, oh, I might as well think about something else other than like cleaning mess off the wall or washing a pie plate or whatever.
Spending time with my wife, just you like.
Oh, no,
you're looking to procrastinate.
No, and sometimes I'll just be thinking, or sorry, I already went on the tangent. What the specific story was today. I was thinking, it's almost time we got to start thinking what we're going to do for episode 200 because it'll be slower. Yeah. Like 100 came like a fast train and it hit us because we were doing like double episodes a lot of weeks during the James Bonds, and like if you add 25 films in a series, that hurdles you just forward to 100. So we've got some time. It's not right on our forefront, but it's coming.
Yeah, but do you know what happens? I mean, this has happened to us a bunch. It's
Sure.
happened to us with almost every milestone.
Okay.
Where we're like, it's forever away.
Mm-hmm.
But in that forever away
Yeah.
is Halloween episodes,
Yeah.
Christmas episodes,
Yes.
probably half a dozen or more new releases.
Something like
there's
that.
a lot of predetermined stuff that's coming. And so, I don't know, we'll sit down and we figure out our calendar in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it's figured out more or less, give or take, until the new year.
Of 2024.
Yes. And but what we don't do is, so we'll say such and such a date of such and such a month is going to be a Halloween vote. But we don't number them.
Yeah. Not usually.
Right?
No.
We don't say, and it will be episode 172. And so I find it's happened to us several times in the past where all of a sudden it's like, you're going through and you're like, it'll be like episode 100 or something really big and monumental, and it just in your calendar it's like, oh crap, but that's going to be like, as it's lined up, that's a predetermined episode. It's not just a vote. It's it's like the rise of Skywalker, and you're like, oh, we can't do that for episode 100. Like,
right.
We want to do like an episode. We want to get a guest, and we want to like do. That's what we do for our 100th and 200th and 150th and whatever else.
Yep.
So really, what it boils down to is episode 200 is going to come up faster than we hoped. So we got to send a message off to Emily and be like, hey,
100, 150.
you want to get together and talk about your top 5 popcorn seasonings?
Hey, listen, I think there's an episode to be had about like your top movie snacks, and like it could get heated. I'm not gonna lie.
There probably is, and like
I'm not even
overrated
joking.
ones, and like I'm dead serious. Like, what the hell is a milk dud?
A dud.
A dud.
Yeah.
I had actually, they're delicious. I've had them.
Oh, okay.
And they're delicious.
Okay.
But anyways, that's way off the tangent. Doesn't even matter. Bugs Life.
Okay. Yes, sir. So this was, we continue our journey on going year by year in film. This was another vote for 1998, and there will be
we stuttered a little.
There will be a third vote for 98. There were
that's you just heard it here first. You are breaking the ice on that. We've not yet disclosed that we are tripling up.
Oh, that might
good
be a
Lord. Cool, yeah. So 1998 for 3 years. Or 3 episodes. I mean.
Felt like 3 years, but no.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it just, I was 6 years old, 7 years old, and it just wouldn't die.
So there were just so many films that were just jam-packed. We just decided, let's do a third episode on it. And we had a vote, as we usually do. The popular vote was well received. There was a lot of people that gave their opinion. The Patreon vote, so the people who are Patreon supporters who have bonus votes, their voice was very clearly heard, and obviously A Bug's Life won. But this episode in particular, A Bug's Life, on occasion, we send out like an email with a vote, or a survey, I guess you'd call it, to our Patreon supporters, where they get to give us suggestions that we'll consider for different movie options to actually have in the vote. And A Bug's Life was one of them. So that was an example for our Patreon supporters of propelling the vote, to pushing it forward to have A Bug's Life win. But in this case too, A Bug's Life was an option. Actually, a few Patreon supporters recommended it, so a few of them were actually in line. But the Patreon suggestion of A Bug's Life became a vote and won the vote. So it's just a bit of a company plug there. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. You get your perks, and if you're interested in having that power at different levels and magnitudes, check out our Patreon page below.
Yeah, there's probably a link somewhere nearby.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little disappointed, or was a little disappointed.
Sure.
Only because disappointed, not surprised, and also relieved.
Interesting combo.
Disappointed because I was rooting for Small Soldiers, because I think there's a lot of meat on the bone with that film.
Sure, and just hot take alert, I've never seen it.
Ooh. Phil Hartman, Kirsten Dunst, Tommy Lee Jones. I mean, it's
KD.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
David Gross? No, what's his name? I'm going to look it up. Anyways, but I thought there's a lot of meat on the bone with a film like that.
Mm-hmm.
Relieved because I really didn't want to do, sorry for anyone who voted for this.
Sure.
I really didn't want to do Mulan.
Sure.
Only because you had me watch Mulan back when we were doing recommendations.
Yes. Yep.
And then we did the live action Mulan.
Right.
And so I just felt like we had beaten Mulan. David Cross. Who, I mean, you'll know from, if you look him up, you'll know from a smattering of different things. I just felt like Mulan had kind of been beat into the ground as far as the podcast goes. Like I just didn't need more Mulan.
I acknowledge that. I'm biased because I enjoy, I grew up on the original Mulan, so I would have been interesting to view it in the light of just recently done the live action one. But I do understand the angle of coming from a storyline fatigue of just covering that exact storyline. So I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just feel like we've already gotten down to business, and it's not, it's not really. You didn't get that? Come on.
Oh, sorry. I was smiling ear to ear, and I was actually letting you finish your sentence, but I didn't even realize that was on purpose, and I was like, wow, does he know what he just said? So I am impressed. I'm sorry, you didn't see my impressed smile, but well done.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Small Soldiers, which was popularly received, didn't win, and I was a little disappointed. Blast from the Past seems intriguing. I think I've seen parts of it. I'm probably just going to watch it on my own, but
sure, and I recommend that. I think you should.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, not surprised, because anytime we throw a Pixar film into the ring, it takes no prisoners.
It's more often than not.
Ass.
There are exceptions, but you're right. More often than not, it's either incredibly well received and close or wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
A Bug's Life.
Yeah. So I watched it. Yeah. Do you have trivia, sir?
Okay, let's do some trivia, and then we'll get into. I'll tell you what I think, or my experience with it, since you gave us your hot take. Okay, so it's time for trivia.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. A couple little tidbits here. One I'm going to skip and I'll round back to just in case you do any shopkeeping. Just because it might be in your territory, so I don't want to get into that. Just in case you want to talk about this, so we'll come back to this.
Okay.
Some talk was that for the villain in this film, which was played by Kevin Spacey, apparently Robert De Niro was the top choice, and he repeatedly turned it down for some reason.
I think here's a question.
Please.
Do you think that prior to now, like, so picture Hopper.
Done.
Do you think that prior to them giving up on De Niro, they had already done the character design and didn't bother changing it? Because I'm looking at I'm picturing Hopper and I'm picturing De Niro and I'm picturing Kevin Spacey. And if we're playing a game of which to fit the best, it's not Tommy Tickler, Kevin Spacey. It's you know, I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me, De Niro?
I think I'm just biased. I think I just picture, like, I thought he looked like Kevin Spacey, to be honest. So I'm not with you on that one.
In fact, for a second I thought he was. It's so, you know, especially the thing they did with the eye.
For the role of Flick, Jim Carrey was considered, which I'm not here to say what Jim Carrey can and cannot do. I just wonder if the energy that he would have brought might not have been the best fit for this exact role.
You know what? Last week when we were talking, was it last week?
2 weeks ago for Truman
Show.
Yeah.
You were talking about how Robin Williams was considered for Truman.
Yeah.
And I instantly jumped on that and I said, that is a better casting. That would change everything. I don't think this would. You know, Jim Carrey's done at least one animated thing with Horton Hears a Who. And I don't think that a lot, like, Jim Carrey has such a rubber face and physicality to him that I think there's far more value in him physically being on screen than his voice. I don't, you know, he's got a great voice, sure. He's got a distinct voice.
Yes.
If he's talking, you can probably pick out, oh, is that Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
But it's not his strong suit. It's not the thing that, you know, I mean, then you have stuff like the voices that he does in The Grinch, and that's fantastic. Like, he can do voice stuff. Excuse me, maybe I hiccuped. Maybe he would have changed his voice for this. I don't know.
Maybe.
I lean towards thinking not, and that it would have been very much what he would have done for Horton Hears a Who.
Sure.
But yeah, so instantly that doesn't jump out at me as like, oh yeah, let's like, I wish I could see that. What would that be? And you know what I do really appreciate? So Dave Foley not only is Canadian born.
Oh, interesting.
Not only is Canadian born, not only is Ontario born.
Oh wow.
He's a Etobicoke born, like Greater Toronto area. He is a throw a stone from where I am right now, and I'd probably hit his grandmother's doorstep. And he was a Kids in the Hall cast member.
Oh, okay.
Which was like, you know, one of those kind of like Kids in the Hall, In Living Color, Whitest Kids You Know. They were all kind of bargain basement versions of SNL.
Oh, sure.
Right? They were all like sketch comedy shows. Second City. They're all like sketch comedy but never saw the success that, or the notoriety that Saturday Night Live had.
Sure.
Has had. And so Dave Foley, so listener of the show, Carl Eastman, Dave Foley is the star of Carl Eastman's favorite comedy of all time, called The Wrong Guy, and it is hilarious. You should check it out. But aside from that, he's really good, but he never really got his big break. Like, this is probably the biggest, most mainstream, iconic Hollywood role he has.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? I actually get a lot of joy out of the fact that Dave Foley got the lead in a Pixar film.
Yeah.
Early in Pixar.
Yes.
Early.
Very early.
So, I mean, there's something to be said for that, I guess. But he's also starring opposite of Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
And in a film from a studio that is following up a film that had people like Annie Potts, Don Rickles, Jim Varney, Tim Allen, Tom Hanks.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not like this is a nobody nothing studio.
Yeah.
Who had to seek out talent like Dave Foley.
Right.
Who does in and of himself have a very unique voice, a very he's really not putting on a voice for that. That's him. That is his voice.
Yeah.
And so, okay. Jim Carrey was a potential. Pass. I'm not going to buy that. I don't want that. I wouldn't want to see that version.
Yeah.
I like this. I think there's so much value that is unique to me as a Canadian because it's got that hometown roots feel.
Yeah, for sure.
But I like this, and I wouldn't want them to change that.
I agree, and I felt that way before we said that, but those points make me feel even more strongly the way I do. So thank you.
Good.
My question for you, it's going to be a few rapid, just true or false. Okay? So this film had a voice cast that was pretty heavy from the television sitcom scene of the 1990s. So I'm just going to run through some TV shows, and you just say true or false if there were some representation from that show in this movie. Okay?
Okay.
You get what I mean?
No.
So I'll say a show, and it would be like Breaking Bad, but that's not from the 90s. That's just an example. I'm going to say, Brady, was anyone from Breaking Bad in A Bug's Life? And you'd be like, true, yeah. Like Steve from Breaking Bad was the cactus in A Bug's Life. And you don't have to tell me who it is, just true or false.
Yeah, okay.
So, true or false, there was representation from Sex and the City.
The only person that I know from Sex and the City, I've never seen an episode or the movie or I think maybe there's a second movie.
There is. I've not seen it, thank God.
Okay. The only person I know is Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sure.
And I don't think Sarah Jessica Parker is in this.
Okay.
And so I'm going to say no. Only because I can't confidently say yes.
Sure.
Which is weak.
Oh
yeah, look at
me! You're correct. No
sporadic.
Sex.
I got some sporadic applause there.
I was like hovering over it and then like accidentally hit it while you're still talking. Like, oh my gosh, no! So no Sex in the City.
It's preemptive. Preemptive applause.
Preemptive applause. Was there anyone from Seinfeld in this film?
Okay, I'm thinking Jason Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Richards? Is that the guy that plays Kramer? Michael Richards?
Ooh. Not sure.
Okay, well, either way, it's not him then, because he's not a part of your trivia question. Jerry Seinfeld. Wayne Knight as Newman.
Mm.
Fun fact: I've also probably only ever seen like 2 or 3 episodes of Seinfeld.
Same,
I don't
actually.
like compared to Friends and whatever else.
Yes.
Like Seinfeld was never my thing.
Same.
I've thought about it. I've thought, you know what? I should really watch Seinfeld. I just haven't.
The other day I noticed that Seinfeld is coming on Netflix, and my wife was like, "Yeah, I'm going to check it out. We should check it out." And I'm very open to it, but I just said,
it's coming on Netflix.
Yeah, and in our region,
Yeah.
and it's probably been on the U.S. Netflix for like 27 years, and
Since before it came out.
Little shots fired at Netflix Canada there. But I said, I'm open for it, but we're, as adults, we only have so much time. And I said, I think I got to put it further down on the list. Like, I've still never seen Friends all the way through. So I think that's higher on my priority before I start something.
Yeah, it should be.
Before I pick up like something else. So the point is, I've not seen it, but I've been curious.
And then Julie something DeFries, who shows up in you have to watch. You're disappointing me.
What?
You have to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh, I saw in the end credits of what's that film?
The end credits of Black Widow.
Yes, that's it.
She shows up there. Yeah. I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
And I'm basing this purely off, I don't think you'll give me 2 no's in a row. And I'm going to say the DeFries, Julie DeFries. Because I don't recognize, because all of the men have very distinct voices from Seinfeld, and I can't pick any of them out.
Okay. So that was 2 distinct things because
is that the full length of your sound effect?
No, it'll go on indefinitely, but I did 2 distinct ones because you were right about the Seinfeld aspect, and you were right that it was Julia Louis DeFries. She played the Queen's daughter, who was the incumbent to the kingdom.
The sister. The older sister of Dot.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The one that the romantic interest, the one that
interest. Yeah.
The sexy one that Flick wants to.
Easy, listen.
Why? She's an aunt.
Listen.
What do you do?
I will neither confirm nor deny.
How can you not?
Listen. Wholesome show, Brady. Come on.
I mean, we're going to have to talk about Kevin Spacey in a minute.
Oh, Lord. Frasier. Do you think there was representation from Frasier? Another 90s popular sitcom.
Well, let me start by saying I think that Kelsey Grammer would have done a good job of playing Hopper.
I could see it. He did a great job with Sideshow Bob.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Yes, and this deep hello part. I can't do it, but
no, but I hear you. That's a good compare. Like, that's a good point that he would have been more than capable. Kelsey Grammer.
And then I don't know the name of anyone else from the show, but I can picture them all.
Sure.
I'm wondering if I'm going to say I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Stab in the dark, gut feeling. I don't actually know. I'm going to say no.
Sure. Incorrect. David Hyde Pierce, who plays the brother.
You can't use that sound effect. That's my sound effect.
That's the only thing I have that would be like punishment or like you're wrong.
You need like a womp womp womp.
Oh yeah, that is. I agree.
You need a trombone.
I agree. David Hyde Pierce, who plays the brother Niles in Frasier, played the Stick circus member.
Okay, yeah. That clicks.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Everybody Loves Raymond, another popular 90s show.
Yes, Brad Garrett is in this, and I didn't look that up, but I how can you not know? The Beatle.
So he plays, I think, Raymond's brother in Everyone Loves Raymond. But yeah, very notable voice. I didn't notice it. I know the voice. I know the actor. For some reason, I didn't pick
It's
it up.
also not the only Pixar film he's in. He plays the puffer fish in Finding Nemo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Last one here. Where is it? Friends. Was anyone from Friends, another popular 90s show, in this movie?
I'm going to say no. It's definitely not one of the main 6. And it gets pretty obscure to be like, well, no, there's made one appearance in one episode once. So I'm going to say no.
Would you consider, just for context, Jennifer Aniston obscure?
She's not in this.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. You're right. No Friends representation. My point was, lots of TV sitcom actors in this film, and there were 2 others that I just left out that I personally didn't have interest. I had never heard of the show, so I'm like, okay, let's just stick with the big guns. But Frasier, Everybody Loves Raymond, and Seinfeld, pretty big guns. You
know, you could have told me that David Schwimmer played Dot, and I would have entertained. I would have entertained the conversation.
Well done.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
Do you have shopkeeping to do?
I got some things we can talk about. So,
Please.
Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes. Do you know anything about the Rotten Tomatoes for this film, sir?
Not for this film, no.
Okay, so has a critic score.
Okay.
Of 92%.
Ooh, that's respectable.
It's respectable. It seems a little silly high to me.
Okay.
It seems a little like carelessly, well, it's a Pixar film, and it's a good Pixar film, so we gotta give it like a 92 or 97.
The lowest we can go is 90.
Because it's Pixar, yeah. So I don't know. Care to venture a guess on the audience score?
I'm going to go actually higher. As high as 92 is, I'm going to say there's enough people that grew up with it or enjoyed it that they're just like drinking the Kool-Aid, giving it, I'll say 95, just out of the dark.
Okay. As of September 2021, in whatever time zone we're in, it has a much more reasonable, I think, 73%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, quite a bit lower.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
Quite a bit lower.
Okay.
And then very quickly, $120 million was the budget. Can I say, for 1998, that is huge.
Oh, true. Context, yeah, of the time. Time, yeah, okay. Yep.
Especially for an animated film.
Oh, sure.
You know? That is, especially for an animated film, which is like the second film that this studio's put out.
Right.
They haven't even gained the street cred fully yet. All they've done is Toy Story, and maybe that was a fluke.
Yeah.
You know? So, anyways, I found that really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Domestic gross of $363 million, though.
Wow.
Which is also a shit ton of money. And
sure is.
Yeah. So definitely this film made money. And it was, I think, which is probably coming off the heels of Toy Story. People are like, oh, Toy Story was amazing. whatever Pixar does, we gotta go watch it. Which
Now,
is still what we do now.
Here's the thing.
Nothing has changed.
Well, I'd argue that things have changed. So this is something that I looked up, and I didn't want to bring it up on my own just because I didn't want to step on your toes. But I think you've settled right, like you've brought it up here, so I think it's a good time to bring it up. I assumed that, I know this is just the second Pixar film, but I assumed that there would have been a bit of a trickle down. We talked about this with our Dark Knight Rises episode, that Dark Knight Rises was incredibly lucrative because of the success of the previous film, The Dark Knight. Like that's just how it is, and sometimes with series or trilogies or films that are connected, if a certain film is really popular, even if the next one is trash or if it's good, doesn't matter, it can be quite lucrative just because there's that much more interest. And
I vaguely remember this, yes.
and it seems from just skimming numbers that Pixar maybe hadn't quite picked up the notoriety it has now right off the bat. And I found that surprising because as incredible as Toy Story was, I would have assumed there would have been immediate interest. Not that A Bug's Life did poorly, it did exactly the same as Toy Story. So you just mentioned Bug's Life was around the 363 million. Toy Story was exactly the same. It was only about $300,000 difference between earnings between the two films. And
that's interesting. I wonder what the budget difference was.
That's a good question. One I don't have an answer for. But I just thought that was interesting. That surprised me because I thought of the two, Bug's Life would have, if not, I thought it would have been a lot more lucrative, or at least somewhat more, just off of this concept that we've talked about of people saying, hey, honey, remember when we saw Toy Story 2 years ago? Let's make a point of seeing it in theaters this time, and, let's bring Cousin Joe with us.
Sure.
Poor example, but, I'm just surprised that it did exactly the same.
Yeah, actually, that is interesting. Yeah.
But 300 million is nothing to sneeze at. I would take some of that.
No, if I made a movie tomorrow and it made half of that,
yeah,
I would be like, okay, who's punking me here?
I'd say at 1%. If it made 1% of that, I'd be pleased.
Well, okay.
I'm hoping to more. I'm not trying to put a glass ceiling on your movie. I'm just saying.
Cool. All right.
So, A Bug's Life.
Yeah. So, tell me your experience.
My experience is slightly different than yours. That I have seen A Bug's Life, but I'd only seen it once, and it was as an adult. I'm going to say within the last year, maybe the last 2 years. So, I'm in the category that I've seen it, but I'm definitely, obviously, not in the category that I saw it as a kid or saw it periodically throughout my childhood. That there was nostalgia. There are movies that you and I talk about, for me off the top of my head would be like, say, Titanic or The Great Gatsby, that literally the end credits could be rolling, and if I had the time or the nothing else to do, I could literally just hit play and watch the same film over again, like back to back. And then there are films that are just nothing like that for me, or that are just normal, that I go, I just saw this quite recently. I don't really feel the need to see it again. And I was surprised Bug's Life fell into that category, that it hasn't been that recently that I saw it, but it still felt a bit too recent to fully embrace it and enjoy it. And I think it's an interesting film. I think it's a good film. There's a couple things that I think it really did well, but it's not in the caliber that I would say Toy Story is, that I either held it nostalgically important or was just on its own just well done and special to me just as a piece of film. I think if I had to summarize it, I think there's a bit of a sophomore slump with Pixar, with this being their second film. I don't think it's a bad film. I don't think they did anything wrong. I just think comparatively to Toy Story, it's just not as strong of a film, and it is what it is. There's nothing to fault that. There is a a franchise. They move on and they go on to different and better things, in my opinion. But to me, it's just a film. And although I didn't see it as a child, I did see it at the recommendation, like you said, of someone who recommended it to me, and so I have got a little bit of a nostalgia for it, but not enough to say it's in my top caliber of Pixar films.
Well, that's kind of the opposite in every regard from what I thought you were going to say.
Really? Okay. Really?
Yeah. So then, curiously,
Yes.
only because I had brought it up earlier, sort of
Sure.
in a joke.
Yep.
What is what is your significant other's experience with this film? Like,
Grew
did
up-
she grow up with this?
Yes, she grew up with it.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's her favorite. Definitely not her favorite Pixar film, but grew up with it enough, and I appreciated what she brought to the table and saying, like, these are the things that I like about this. And I said, decently made film. For that reason, I acknowledge it.
Sure. So you sat down to watch this together.
Yep.
And it was a fun, nostalgic trip.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. But not so much you.
Not so much me.
That's
I think watching it so soon again just reinforced to me that it is what it is to me.
Right.
And I don't even mean that in a bad way.
Right. Serviceable.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can I say I felt I got a lot of deja vu, not just because I had seen it, within a year, but I got a lot of similarity vibes from this film and Galaxy Quest. I mean, you've got actors.
Do tell.
You've got actors impersonating someone who can try and help a group of endangered individuals. And in some ways, it's kind of like Story because there's the Pixar elements. But I got some Galaxy Quest vibes to it. And then, there's this revealing that these actors aren't who they say they are, but they still come around and grow as characters to help those that are in need. And I just thought it was... I noticed a bit of a similarity.
I think, yeah, so there are some similarities. Let's be perfectly clear, though.
Sure.
This is a story about a guy who F's up, is a total F up,
Sure. Yep.
and needs to mature and grow and sort out his shit so that he doesn't completely annihilate his entire village.
Yes. I mean, the more you fork through the details of this plot, yeah, there are some very, very, very significant differences. I hear you.
And luck plays a very big role in his success.
Luck
He gets pretty lucky.
luck plays a significant role on both sides of the coin because you're right, he gets very lucky to end up at the end of the film where everyone ends up, but I would say he also suffers from bad luck just from the whole aspect of literally something that he didn't even intentionally do, but just he had his mechanism that like knocked a pebble off that started a chain reaction that got them into the trouble of their food falling into the river. Bad luck and good luck were very prominent in this character's storyline.
Yeah, okay. I will concede to that. But although, had he just been doing what he was supposed to friggin' do instead of trying to be an entrepreneur.
Listen, but should we not dream? Should
No.
we not dream
No.
and grow?
Not when you're an ant. I mean, you're an ant.
That's true.
Your job is to get roasted with magnifying glasses and
Oh,
form lines around piles of sugar. Like there's no,
are you a grasshopper?
I'm certainly not a stick bug. I would say there's like a sweet spot between stick bug and dung beetle, and I would say I'm sort of nestled cozily in the middle between the two of those.
Sure.
Yeah. So like I said, I hadn't seen this film prior to now. And I do think that hurt the experience.
Sure.
Simply because so much, I think, not in its totality, but like a not even crucial, but like a very, very potentially important factor that goes into enjoying a film like this is nostalgia.
Oh, big time.
And not to say that it can't stand on its own as a film, because I do think it does. Ultimately, I had a very positive viewing experience.
Sure.
I think the film is a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I think it holds up pretty well. If Bug's Life came out today, obviously the animation quality would be much improved.
Sure.
But it was never distractingly bad.
Oh, no.
Even compared to the first Toy Story, which came out right before it.
100%.
Right? The first Toy Story, does the animation in Pixar's A Bug's Life hold up? Well, maybe not quite to today's standards, but it's never distractingly bad.
Sure.
Toy Story 1 doesn't hold up to today's standards, and it quite often is distractingly bad. And so I think that's,
that's fair.
You've got the difference of like animating people and not animating people, and so one's a little bit easier and so on and so forth. But all in all, there's definitely a leap forward from Toy Story to A Bug's Life.
Yeah, no, that's a very fair point.
Yeah, all in all, I enjoy this movie. It's a great movie. It's a cute movie. I'm glad to have access to it via Disney Plus. I may never watch it again.
Sure.
I probably won't watch it again if left to my own devices.
Sure.
If I'm like over at someone's house, or maybe someday with my kids.
Yes.
But to be like, what am I going to watch? And then to sit down, I just don't know if this mood will strike.
Sure.
And if the mood is like a Pixar or an animated film, there's several that will likely beat it out, at least for me. But very funny, lots of fun, well written, lots of heart. I do think it was hurt by not having the nostalgia factor.
Of course.
But I still thoroughly enjoy this film. Yeah. What about you?
One good thing I'll say, and one thing it's more of a comment. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. I'll start with that. This film, I watched as an adult, so it's obviously not troubling, what I'll call, not gruesome, but just adult, maybe adult, not adult, it's not even inappropriate, so I'm not trying to say it's inappropriate. I'm just saying it's very serious or somber events that are really drawn out, so I'll just go into it. And the film doesn't shy away from this. I'm not saying it is a critique, I'm just surprised. So, when Kevin Spacey's character as a grasshopper is finally meeting his demise, it's not a quick, he gets snapped up by the bird and the bird flies away and that's it. It's like a good 30 to 45 seconds of him screaming in agony for his life, being dropped slowly into the baby bird's mouth to be eaten alive. And I don't know, something about that, I just kind of went, whoa, this is for children. I I think maybe I'm overestimating how distraught a child would be from watching this, but I just thought I just was curious if a child would find that distressing. And this was a very subtle thing. I don't think a child would even pay attention to this at all. I think just as an adult, I found this quite morbid. Was when were they beetles in the circus crew? There were two of them, and they spoke some language that wasn't English. They were playing with Kevin Spacey's, like, his grasshopper character's, like, hand or foot. And I thought, wow, like, this is dark. Like, that's like, I don't know, like someone playing with Hitler's hand if they, when they liberated Berlin and someone found him and like were waving his hand around for weeks afterwards. Like, there were just a couple aspects like that I went, wow, like, I didn't realize Pixar kind of got this dark, and maybe I'm blowing it up too much. I don't know, but that's just something I noticed.
Is not that why we love Pixar? Their ability to entertain, that Pixar has never been kids movies. They've been
100%,
adult, like family friendly movies for adults.
You're absolutely right, and I'm not even critiquing it per se. I think I'm just surprised by it because I don't think I've ever been that shocked in a Pixar film before. But maybe I just do need to pay more attention. And, just off the top of my head, in Toy Story, there's a kid who's blowing up toys, and in the reality where toys are living things, so that's horrific. And maybe there's more of it than I've noticed before. But for some reason, just when I watched A Bug's Life, it triggered for me. Like, I'm like, whoa, I'm okay with it, but dang, like, they didn't shy away from it.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'm the soundtrack guy. I loved this soundtrack.
It's very good. I too noticed it, and I don't always.
Pardon me?
I noticed the soundtrack as well, and I don't always notice soundtrack.
Sure. Yep. So off the top, Randy Newman, like Pixar going to the well again with the exact same thing with Randy Newman, loved it. Like
he should probably be the only. He should probably have a hand in every Pixar film.
Yes, I forgot.
That would be an excellent make it feel like Pixar kind of thing. It's a shame they haven't.
It is. I forgot that this ending credit scene had a Randy Newman piece and that he was involved in it at all. And I just got such a warm grin on my face. I was so happy. So excellent. But the soundtrack was excellent. There was one specific time actually where I think it was the circus troupe returning with Flick back to the anthill, and like there was this just everything kind of just brewed together so well. There's like the panoramic shot, they're flying, and just how uplifting and energetic and just infusing all of that stuff was the soundtrack at that time was so like it just hit me. I'm like, ooh, this is great. So the soundtrack to me was perfect. Wouldn't have changed a thing.
I don't think you would have had the option to, but
listen, I've got some pull, okay?
Yeah. With Pixar or with Randy Newman?
Both.
Is Randy Newman still living, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because he did stuff for the new Toy Story film.
Yeah.
Which he probably shouldn't have. But
why?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's a shit film, but I don't know.
I knew that's what you're thinking. I just wanted you to say it.
Maybe it's just because he got old and lost the ability to tell what was good and what isn't. I don't know.
Sure. Okay.
So, I know you don't want to.
But
I think there's something to like, we see it all the times in culture where people are going back and they're like editing things out, taking down statues.
Sure.
doing whatever else.
Yep.
What implications, if any? And I have my answer, and I stand very firmly on this answer with one interesting caveat.
Okay.
What implications, if any, are there in terms of having someone who has been very heavily accused.
Right.
He's been confused as he's been accused as someone who has sexually assaulted people, young men, whatever, a sex offender. Playing a voice in a iconic children-friendly Pixar film.
Yep.
You know, if there are, what are the implications of this?
I think it's just complicated to always keep separate the piece of acting or the product on the screen and the realities behind the actor who did that. Did certain things in life, and in this case Kevin Spacey being accused of those things. For me, it really didn't change things. I think there were times where in the back of my mind I went, this is an interesting, fun performance, and then I was reminded of, but Kevin Spacey has done some things or being accused of doing some things that are not good. And so I wouldn't say it tainted the role for me, but it was definitely something that I was aware of. And it's just kind of hard to not think about that. But that could just be the way I viewed it. What say you?
So my perspective is always, separate the art from the artist.
Sure.
You can be scum of the earth and still be a fantastic actor. And, should we go out and support Kevin Spacey movies moving forward? No, maybe not. But stuff that he's already made, I don't know. I think you can still enjoy it. I still certainly, say what you will, Bill Cosby was a comedic genius. He may have been a lot of other things, but he's a comedic genius. Right. And I think the only part that becomes interesting is when you ask the question, was Kevin Spacey doing these things with young boys in 1998? Simply because it's a children's film. So it's one thing to go back and watch Baby Driver and be like, he's a creep. It's just a movie that he's in.
Right.
If he was doing stuff with children while in what is, for all intents and purposes, marketed as a children's movie, then it's a little weird.
Sure. Yeah.
Because then maybe there's this question of like luring and stuff. I don't know. It gets weird. But anyways, I too, for the most part, it did not impact my ability to enjoy the film. But it was on my mind, and it did pop on my mind several times. And I think that's a shame.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So, Do you have anything else written down, sir?
No, that's it.
Well, then you know what time it is. It's business time. No, it's time to let me know. 0 to 10. What say you?
Okay, so on my scale,
I'm so curious to see how this is going to go, because there's a lot of debate and question about what scales should or should not be used, and what names they will be referred to as, and all kinds of things. So no pressure. But what's going on here? Let
me try and I've brushed it up, so let me just try and do it in a way that seems a little bit more makes a bit more sense. So, on my scale, I gave it a 6.6, which doesn't put it in the top category of I need to see it in theaters, it's worth that effort, but it's the next level down. So if I were to pay $30 to get premium access on a streaming site to watch this, when the credits rolled, I would not have regretted paying the $30. I would have gone, yeah, that's fair. I enjoyed it. Great soundtrack, made, heartwarming moments, worth the $30. On the scale that is just more traditionally a 0 to 10 scale, formerly known as Marshall scale, I gave it a 6. The Randy Newman component almost pushed it to a 7, but I'll say comfortably a 6.
Do you, like, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
I picture you getting off the podcast, going to your wife, who's like sitting on the couch reading a magazine, or doing needlepoint or something. I don't know.
Sure.
And you kind of sit down on the couch beside her, a couple feet away. And then without saying anything, you just kind of lean over and you put your head down in her lap. And you start to cry a little bit. And she strokes your head. And you don't even have to say anything. She just strokes your head and she says, "They don't like your scale, do they?" And as she says that, you lose, all the tears that you are holding in. You just it goes from crying to ugly crying.
No.
No, okay.
No.
Okay. Because I want to shoot this now as a video because I think it's, I don't know.
That is not what happens, but that is a funny image.
Oh, okay. That's good.
What do you give this out of 10?
6.2. So I'm kind of
so close to me. Yep.
In between.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's really good. The question that really matters is not where do I rank it on a scale of 0 to 10.
Sure.
It's what tier of Pixar film do I declare this?
Yeah.
And for those who haven't listened to a Pixar episode or haven't heard us talk about this, there are several tiers of Pixar films. So you've got your platinum tier, which is like Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 2. The first 3 Toy Stories, I feel like, are all platinum tier. Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, that might be it. That might be it. Then you have your gold tier, which are films like Up,
Yep,
and Soul, and stuff like that. And then all the way down to your wood tiers. And there's which is like Toy Story 4 and Cars, and there's varying different ones throughout. Maybe you could add in a couple tiers if you want. You'd be like, this is really more of a tungsten tier. It's or a pyrite tier. It's not quite gold, but it's still shiny, and you could be tricked into thinking it was gold. Anyways, I would say, you know what? This is either high gold or low platinum.
Sure.
It is. It's got a Pixar feel that I feel like we haven't had in many recent Pixar films. And I don't know, it just felt, it's a movie about bugs.
Right.
There's not a lot of people in it.
No.
And it just did something for me that Soul hasn't done, Luca didn't do, Onward definitely didn't do.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
Incredibles does, but I still I would put it in the same vein as Incredibles.
Sure.
I get, you know, depending on the day of the week, I will tell you that Incredibles is either a platinum tier or a gold tier.
Okay. Yeah.
But everything else on that list, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, Toy Story, doesn't center around people or humanoids.
Right.
You know, and this scratched that itch in a lot of ways. This felt Pixar. It didn't feel like, oh, well, this could have been Illumination, or it could have been Sony Animation, or it could have been, you know, XYZ. Felt like Pixar.
That's true.
So anyways, 6.2, but high gold, low platinum on the Pixar scale.
Cool.
What did you watch this week, sir?
I only watched one film. It's a film from 1996 called Primal Fear.
I have not seen, but I definitely know of.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I had really heard of it or not. But it was scrolling through a streaming site and I came across it. And I was intrigued because, maybe just like everyone else, maybe not like some, I just love like courtroom thrillers that are, whodunit or what are they going to do next and kind of banter back and forth and, high stakes, things like that. And I thought, hey, this is from the 90s. I've got a nostalgia for the 90s. I like this kind of film. But what drew me in was the cast. And for me, so Richard Gere, cool, very cool. Laura Linney, who is in a lot of things like, Ozark and a multitude of things. But, for me, she is who she is. This is where it really sparked up for me. There's a young Edward Norton. There's a John Mahoney, who's the dad from Frasier. So for me, that was intriguing. A Terry O'Quinn, who's in Lost, a key figure in Lost. And then a young Andre Braugher, Lieutenant Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So all these interesting actors who I enjoy from very key specific things were all sandwiched in this film in 1996 before they had made their breaks in the films or TV shows that I liked. So on cast alone, I was like, done. I have to watch this. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 10. The film, for me, it was what it was. It was not maybe the best made film. And then it also covered some serious topic matter, like the actual crime itself. The film was rated 18A, and as kind of would go with that, the crime that was committed was pretty grotesque and horrid. And there was just things that dealt with people abusing their power to people in less power and kind of things that I just didn't. I enjoy escapism when I watch a film, and I would have rather just some generic crime that didn't remind me of things that are in reality. So it was still fun seeing all these actors that I cherish in younger versions of themselves and roles in those positions. So that is what I watched this week. What did you watch?
Several things, honestly. So I've been continuing Only Murders in the House.
Oh, I still need to check that out.
So good, man. So good.
Can I ask? Can I interrupt you? Is it like a week by week release, or is the entire first season?
I think new episodes are coming out every Thursday.
Oh, wow.
So there's like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or something episodes out right now.
Okay. Yep.
But yeah. So it's kind of it has that water cooler-esque potential.
Yes. Yep.
I've continued watching Friends. Watched a couple more episodes of Friends.
Nice.
Went back and watched a film I've seen a couple times before, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I do really like it. I wish it was longer. It's a film that seems to be over before I know what's happening, and I think there's so many fun, interesting ideas that they could have continued to explore, and that's the movie Lucy.
Huh.
Do you know it?
Is it, does it start Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah. It's the one where she gets what is the PH4? No, not PH4. P something. It's the hormone that it's the hormone that is released in the female's body when during like the 6th week of pregnancy or something. And it's like what causes the baby to like grow bones and do all this stuff.
Sure.
What is the drug from? I have to type quick before the government. CPH4.
Oh, okay.
And so CPH4 is this drug that, like, in the 6th week of pregnancy is released in the female body, and it's like it packs a wallop for a developing fetus. Anyways, there's this there's these people who are able to synthesize it and turn it into this drug, and they capture Scarlett Johansson and put a small baggie of it in her abdomen to turn her into like a physical drug mule. And all she has to do is get on this plane, transport it across the border, and then on the other side, these drug lords guys are gonna take it out of her, and she'll be free to go. Apparently, in that process, someone like punches her in the stomach, and it ruptures the bag, and so she is exposed to severe, like high amounts of this, and the whole movie's predicated on the idea that we only have access to like 10% of our cerebral capacity.
Sure.
And so what happens when you can use 20%, 30%, 80%, 100%? And that's sort of, what happens in this movie starts happening to her.
Sure.
As this hormone that causes you to develop and grow a brain and grow bones and do all this stuff. She basically like starts developing again, and her, she unlocks far reaches of her brain that no one's ever unlocked before. But it's only like a little over an hour and a half, and it's very quick. It ends too quick. But yeah, Lucy.
Cool.
And then, I didn't go see Shang-Chi a third time.
Okay. Oh, sure.
It didn't happen. But I sent you a message. I was like, hey man, can't talk right now.
Yeah.
I'm at the movies.
I just assumed it was seeing Shang-Chi like for the 14th time.
Did you? You did?
I did.
No, I went to go see the new Ryan Reynolds movie, Free Guy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
2 thumbs up.
Oh, wow.
2 thumbs up. It's good. You know what? It's not the best Ryan Reynolds movie of all time, and I'd heard people saying that, and I don't think it is. I think I would even rather watch The Proposal.
Fair enough.
But that's not saying much because The Proposal is amazing. But
yeah, I was going to say, like, why are you throwing shade at The Proposal?
But you watch a trailer for Free Guy, and what do you get? You get a lot of senseless action and comedy. Then you watch Free Guy, and there's a lot of story. There's a lot of good content there that isn't in the trailer, and it makes it a really enjoyable watch. So I definitely recommend people either go out and watch it now or stream it somewhere. I think maybe it's streamable somewhere right now for like a premium access thing, or wait till it comes out and rent it or buy it, or do whatever you need to do, but definitely give Free Guy a watch. And that's it. That's all I watched.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well.
So end the show.
All right. Easy. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't done so already, follow, subscribe, do what you got to do on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Check out our Patreon page, our merchandise page below. It's ways for you to help support the show, help maintain costs, and also, like I alluded to earlier, it's a way for you to get some perks and to be able to influence the direction of the show. Please rate and review us positively wherever you're listening, iTunes, wherever you can leave a good review, leave one for us. It really does help us. And send us a message. Leave us a comment. We love hearing from you. And until next time.
You're expecting me to say something witty?
Well, yeah. I didn't have any.
I said at the beginning of the show I burned through my show prep in like.
Okay, well, here. I
with
think
one
that was
hot
good.
take.
It was a good run through. I'll hit record and we'll start recording. And by the time we get to this point again, I'll have something witty to say.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's, aside from that, that's a good dress rehearsal.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And recording in 3,
2,
2, 1,
go.